What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 26, season 4, Wrecked Bike Rebuild. I'm Chaseontwowheels, that was a phone, and this is the YouTube show where we take wrecked bikes, turn them into dream bikes, and then we give them away to the people that support the show. This is my business associate, Brian. You're being floated around by our new business associate, Bo. And in today's episode, we are back. The Paningli's back on the lift. If the motorcycle heavens shine well upon us this day, we will all get to hear the motorcycle crank up. So a couple things that got to happen before we do that. Bike has no oil, bike has no coolant, bike has no gas, bike has no custom seat from Louis Moto that we're going to be installing. Thank you, Louis Moto, for sending us a custom seat that matches this bike perfectly. And we got to install the battery. If all of those things go right today, in this part of the day, because this is going to be a 2-day episode, we get to hear the bike crank up. But then tomorrow, we got to take it up the mountain because if you guys remember, we got a new dash, and it's got to get configured by like Ducati wizardry. We don't have Ducati wizardry here.
You're a wizard,
Brian.
So we have to go to the dealer for that, but that's cool. Mountains are friends. We're going to get that handled.
And besides, this thing hasn't been plugged into a Ducati computer for a while, so there's probably a handful of software updates on, pretty much every electronic system of the machine at this point. It's
Got a lot of firmware
It's 4 years
updates.
old now, right? It's a 2016.
Right. Yeah.
So it hasn't had any sort of DDS plugged up to it for a year and a half.
Right.
So,
That's a minute.
For a Ducati, that's probably half a dozen software updates.
Good, we'll be able to knock them all out. That'll be in the second part of this video, same video though. I would like, before we go all liquid, I want to show everybody and get installed this Louis Moto seat. So Louis Moto makes like custom seats. We'll show you guys. So with this bike, you guys have seen, if you've watched all the episodes, we've got a carbon fiber base with the bike, and then our accent colors are gold, olive green? Is it olive green? Olive green, which is like a camo-y green, and then gold. So those are the main colors we're working with. So talk with Louis Moto and check out the seat they made for it. So we've got carbon fibery look on the side. We've got gold kind of outlining, green stitching. It is the legitest of seats. So the only thing we have to do is to get it stretched over that, I guess is the main.
Yep, get this seat cover off.
Right.
Get the seat cover off, put that seat cover on, and staple it in place.
Right, we do have a staple gun we got from our local home improvement store that is headquartered here in Atlanta. That's good? It's upholstery.
That'll work.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start out with the seat, then we'll get to all the liquids afterwards.
Yep.
On your mark, get set, go.
If you notice, there's a clip here.
A clip like this?
See that?
Oh, yeah.
So that's got to come off, and then this center plastic piece
Right.
comes off, and then we remove all the staples and take the seat cover off the pan.
We have a tool for that. Is there any glue in this, or is it all staple?
There may be some glue on it, but that's not the original seat cover, so there may not be glue in it.
True. Fun fact, I've never used these before.
Don't stretch it too far, just big enough that it comes off. There you go. Now let's let it close. You don't want to hold it open like that.
And then it's revealed underneath the seat is it's literally fine.
Yep.
Throw this away, probably.
We're not putting that back on, right?
Like an old banana peel. Okay, so
my suggestion, I haven't done one of these seats before, but looking at it, how I would make sure that it's centered here, and front to back is I would put that plastic piece in and put the clip on. And
So
then
go ahead
that's
and-
guaranteed to stay where it's supposed to be.
So do you think we should mount the horns in and then?
Yeah, put the whole thing on. Just wrap it over and then
Oh,
put
before we
that
start
center
stapling.
piece in. Yep.
Right, okay. By the way, we will have a link in the description to Louis Moto. Thank you for the seat.
So what's the idea? We're putting the horns on?
We're putting
We're
in,
gonna slide the entire seat over the cushion, and then we'll get this clip through the hole through the seat, and then put the snap ring in its place so the seat cover can't really get too far out of shape. It will be a fight if you can't tell yet.
yeah.
Now, part of what I had said previously was this is not a stock rider seat for Ducati. This is
Right.
the aftermarket or the factory accessoried comfort seat, so it's thicker
So do you think it's
than the original
impossible?
foam. I mean, you could squash the foam and get it in there. It's going to be on there real tight though, and it's going to be lots of work.
Okay.
So,
All right, well, we're
So
down this
because it's a
path.
Fat boy.
because it's a thicker seat, this seat cover is going to go on extremely tight.
Okay.
Hopefully it actually reaches everything that it's supposed to reach.
My wonder is like, how do we get that to sit?
So we'll pin this,
Right,
we'll
that's-
staple the front, and then you work from here sideways.
Oh, so if you pull this tight and, oh,
And then
I
work your way to the
see.
back and then to the front. And you may have to
Gotcha.
put staples in and take staples out and put staples
Okay.
in and take staples out. And
So at this point, we're good to cap the hole.
I mean, the seat's on, so we have to, get it set.
So I say we go ahead and staple front boy down just to have a working point, right? That
So
sounds,
flip it over so you could see, because when you pull on it, it may make this all weird. So you have to kind of work it and look at it to see what I mean, like,
so we don't need to pull these tight then.
because it's already pin centered.
Right, so this just kind of needs to be in.
And you want to put the staples close to where they were before.
Okay.
So you don't want to be all the way up here.
Right,
You want to
so
be
kind of along the edge.
close to that edge, yeah. You don't want them too loose either, because then,
Right.
as the seat stretches, you missed.
Where's my tool? Oh, how the? Okay.
You missed completely.
Oh, it like okay.
Okay, you ready to stop now?
Is that a trick question?
No. Obviously, this is not working. It's pretty obvious that this is not working.
Yeah. Okay. So
What we need is either air-powered or an electric-powered stapler.
I wanted to get an air-powered stapler. I just want to put it in the world. So we're gonna get an air-powered stapler. We're gonna continue this. So we will not finish the seat. But hey, that's what the seat will look like, kinda. Just, more
Well, we
good.
could just go and get one now if you want. Get some gas while we're there, and then come back and continue.
Sold. See you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now back from our local home improvement store, and we're not playing boy games anymore. Wow, this is a hefty boy.
Yeah.
This does not look as heavy as it actually is. We got an air-powered staple gun because we have a giant air tank thing. So we're about to blow these staples
Giant
in.
air tank thing.
Yeah, air compressor with a large capacity tank. All right, now, where were we? I'm gonna do this one time on this table because Brian got to play with it and clear the table, and it's got staples in it. Bop! Dude, that staple goes all the way in. All right, so where does the staple comes out of that little hole? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go here first. Bro, yes, okay, here
Let's
we
do it on the other side.
Ow!
Just kidding.
You. F you for that.
Man, my timing was a split second off. I think he just tinkled. Come bring your tinkle back over here. Come on now. It's okay.
I use this thing for 10 seconds. You can do that on like things I know what I'm doing with, but
What
like,
fun is that? you.
Bro, oh my God. That might have been the best you've done yet.
Oh, that was awesome. Okay.
All right, shaking it off. I didn't staple Brian's finger to the seat.
Although you thought you did for half a second.
It was more than half a second. Trust, I got to the other side of the room before it all sank in. Something else we got at Home Depot were smaller staples. Quarter are the small ones?
Yeah, 1/4 inch.
We got quarter staples just so we don't end up going through shit. You know, like Brian's finger.
Okay, so let's put one right there. Push down. Okay. Looks like we have a seat cover.
We have a seat.
It's on there nice and taut.
Yeah.
It's got full contours already lined in. Everything looks pretty centered. It's nice and tight.
Dude, those guys make such a good seat. Nice job. That was the hard part of today. Everything else is liquids and pushing buttons. And I'm real good at pushing buttons. Because I edit.
So now, yeah, put the battery in.
Do you want to do battery first or liquids first?
It doesn't matter.
Are we sure that all the coolant hoses are on and good?
Or are you sure? You did it last.
Oh, passing the old baton. Okay.
This is your build, buddy.
Could you hand me a flathead? Double checking our work here. So coolant. Wait, we fill this up and then the reservoir? Not the reservoir? Okay. Super slow at first or what?
Super slow the entire time.
Noted.
Halfway full right now.
So we're good.
That looks pretty good right there.
Okay. So the good news is there's no liquid under the bike.
Yep.
So that's a positive, for sure.
Okay, now we get to fill the engine oil.
Yep. All right. Oil cap.
That would be the one that says oil.
Don't you, stop. I'm gonna use pliers. Stop it. Is it off?
Of course it is. You don't need pliers, you just need man hands.
I don't have man hands, man.
Well, how do you think you get them?
By typing all day, duh.
No.
Do you know how many emails I respond to a day, Brian? You have no clue.
He's got no muscles in his wrist, but he's got plenty in his fingers.
Yeah. Okay, so I wish that would go. Okay, whatever. Close enough. Do we know how much oil specifically?
Here's a sight glass.
Damn, show is. Hand me a bottle of that oil, Brian. She's got almost all her liquids. She's just missing something important. Okay, oil, check. Coolant, check.
Wait.
Should we do battery, then gas? I don't even think I put gasoline on that list. Okay, let's install the battery. The last time you guys saw this battery, Brian put the acid in the top and then we charged it and then we pressed it in, right?
Yep.
Because the acid could expand or something like that.
The gases expand internally in the battery as you're charging it the first time. So, when you put these in, they drop down into this little groove in the bottom.
Yes.
They drop down into that little, see those two little plastic posts in there? A little nut kind of sits in a groove, so when you put the screw in and you tighten it, it doesn't spin inside the hole. Now the issue with that is when you put the terminal in there, sometimes there's not quite enough bolt to get down and start threading into the nut. So we'll see if we can make that happen first without playing any trickery on the battery. And we'll go from there.
Do we know what this board goes to?
Yeah, to the battery.
Bazinga!
Were you looking for a different answer? What was the question?
Where does this go? Like, not here.
Off of the battery, where does it go?
Yes.
Oh, you need to specify.
Where does it terminate?
One of them is a power wire for the main machine, and the other one is a power wire for the ABS system.
Okay. Does it matter if we put on negative or positive first?
Always. So move the positive terminals out of the way so you're not making random connections on the battery.
Okay.
You want to do your positive terminals first,
Okay.
and then your negative.
Should
and
I
then
cover this with something so that the negative doesn't touch it?
Or you can kind of just push that out of the way.
Okay.
I always thought it was smoke before fire.
Coming off.
Oh, no, okay. Let me go back on. Why is that?
Because your
Going back on.
your negative connection, if you're making a connection from the negative side, there's almost no chance of making a spark. If you ground it first and then add power to it, you're almost always guaranteed to get a spark. So if the battery has just been freshly charged especially, there is a possibility that it could still be venting gases out of the battery, and battery gases are flammable, besides the fact that you're messing with a machine that runs on gasoline, which is obviously flammable. So when you're installing your battery, you really want to try and make as few sparks as possible.
So going off smoke without fire. Negative,
Yeah, always,
positive.
the negative terminal is always first off, last in.
So that guy's not getting pushed out of the way. So is it cool if I just press that boy in because they're going to
So-
touch?
Can you get this one to go onto there and screw it on from there?
I can certainly try.
Can you see an air gap?
Yes, it's levitating and now it's over.
Okay.
All right, hot's on. Now the black's not on.
Did it bite?
Yes, it bit. Bit like a mouse with cheese.
All right, now you put the negative one on. Now,
Those are on.
take that screw out. It gets hooked into one side, and then there's a hole in the other for the screw that you just took
So
out.
it's really hard for me to mess that up.
So you want to make sure that this holds the battery, so now you need to push everything in.
With all your might.
All right,
Okay,
battery in place.
battery's in.
Battery's in, coolant's in. Everything but gasoline is in.
Now, you need gasoline. So make sure this cap is tight, because if it's going to leak from anywhere, that's where it's going to leak.
Okay,
Okay.
we should be safe.
Pinch,
Yes.
push. Slow. It's going to go real fast, fill the tank, it's going to burp and blow gas everywhere. And just put it all in. Probably need half of that just to prime the whole system.
All right, gasoline in. You guys ready for the
Did you want to put the other two things that are up on the list on first, or did you want to just skip those?
Dude, no. You kidding me? That we're ready. We got to put spools and swing arm sliders, but nah. Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Go ahead. I mean, it's going to light up.
Ah! It's new and it lights up. This is our moment, boys. 3, 2.
Now push the other button.
All right.
There you go.
Redo. 3, 2, 1. She's alive! Bro. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Total miles.
There's smoke. Should we stop?
No. It's the first time it's run.
Okay. So it doesn't even know the total miles that it has. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Not quite sure why it's doing that. It should continue to run with the wheel up. Even if the clutch isn't opening all the way, it should just start spinning the rear wheel.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on there.
What could that be?
I have no idea. The only thing we've done was the clutch.
Right.
So when we click it in gear, it should continue to run. And it is not. And when it's in gear, when I have the clutch pulled in,
Do we have the the swing arm switch connected correctly? Because you know how
I don't know what a
loops-
swing arm switch is.
So like if the swing arm, or the kickstand switch.
That's a good question.
Look at this guy.
It's not often. Let's not get too excited.
I mean, everything feels like it's working properly. You can see the clutch moving, right?
Yeah, it's not moving a lot.
It doesn't move a lot.
Okay, and only one side, but kind of moves like this, where it's like down and a little bit out. Like you pull in the clutch.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. It's
That's
supposed to give a
do,
little,
like, kind of
a little bit of a
twist.
turn.
Okay.
All right. I guess when it goes to mountain, we'll ask.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't think it's the kickstand because it did the same thing both ways. You know, kickstand up or kickstand down, it did the same exact thing. So I don't think the kickstand is actually part of the problem.
Right.
But we won't really know until we get it to mountain and they hook it up to DDS and maybe they'll get some
Right.
fault codes on it somewhere like that, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, that's all.
But
we
it
can-
runs.
It does, which is.
You just can't ride it.
And it sounds.
It sounds pretty mean.
I can't wait to see what it sounds like outside, though. Like once we can actually rev it up. Okay.
All right, so at this point, we didn't really get it fully hot. It's pretty close. I think it may be hot enough to have opened up the thermostat, which would allow coolant to get through the rest of the system. Like the thermostat would open and the pump would push out any air. So we'll see. We'll let it sit for a while and then we'll check the reservoir level after it settles. The same thing with the engine oil, but
In the meantime, we can install some sliders.
we
Front
gotta call
axle
them
sliders.
axle sliders because they're not frame sliders, so you have to specify.
Axle sliders. Front ones to be exact.
Just in case she finds her way onto the road again.
I don't think so. Yeah, this one's not moving on anymore. All right. There it is.
Close
Staying
enough.
Like that. I'm not doing it anymore. All right, I'm gonna get the rear spools on because these are silver. Ain't nobody got time for that. Bike coming down.
Don't scratch it. It's
Dude,
brand new.
solid move on getting gold for that.
Look at that. Look at that little gold little smidge. I'm down with that. Well, let's install that other side and call day one a day. I really hope that this story today ends on a happy note. But you have that worry in the back here. See, that's what I thought until I talked to Brian, and the first bike that we started cranking up, I think it was the ZX10, and no, it was the bobber, because we had taken the entire engine apart, and I'm like, you're not nervous right now or what? And he's like, no, it all went together. I'm like, oh, well, okay. Super nonchalant about it. We tore the entire engine apart, and he just like, yeah. Alrighty. Brian, do you have anything else to add before we call today over?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this little heat shield on that goes on the
Why do you
over
have
the
step
over the spring.
They work out or they don't.
You're right.
You won't pinch your little leg on
All right. I hope your leg's not at that point when that spring's moving, but
No, that's mostly why that's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep you from pinching your leg on a spring on a.
is your leg gonna be? I get. Oh, yeah.
When you're tucked in,
Super sport, yeah,
foot goes
yeah.
here.
And with that, we happy with day one?
Yeah.
All right, boys. On to day two. Cross your fingers that technology can solve our problem. Because if it can't, we're boned.
I mean, it's watch the tank.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll just. I'm gonna attempt to not stress about this shit until we are at Mountain tomorrow, and it's like, hey, let's.
It's like, hey, when we stick it in gear, it dies. But the
Well,
gauge
no,
clusters.
It's after we, for whatever it's called, like get the firmware update for it. Make sure everything's talking.
Well, we let them know ahead of time too. So
No, I know, but I'm saying like
So
I'm
when
not
they
gonna
hook
stress
everything
out.
up, so they can look at it and be like, "Oh, this is it. I just need to reset that." You know what I mean? So.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Or in 2 seconds. So we're here at Mountain, and the weather is matching the mood today because it's raining, and the bike is full of plastic crap. So you guys remind me to buy my wife plastic crap after this. So there's a blanket underneath this. It's a complicated situation we got here, Luke. Oh, you guys are being piloted by Luke today. So look at that, no scratching of the pretty parts. So we have layers. We got a dry layer, a safety layer.
That's a warmth layer, dude.
Yeah, I don't want the bike to get cold, you know? It's back here by itself. You guys ready for it? You ready for the reveal?
Ew.
Brian told me, he texted me, he said, if that seat gets wet, it's ruined. So I made sure that that was not going to happen. Brian's gonna be doing the electronic upgrades, right? Is that what's configuration?
Whatever you want to call it. I'm tired of repeating myself and you saying something different afterwards, so whatever you want to call it is just fine.
Electronic upgrades.
There you go.
Chase's next bike right here.
Yep, that's it. We got paperwork working out. No, that's the next refresh bike.
Yeah.
Somebody
Next-
drop it off that top. We're gonna fix it up.
Next refresh bike? Yeah. Old Daisy.
You guys let us know in the comments down below.
That's it. That's how many miles are on our bike. 1,100 or 11,000.
1100. I have the photo.
And now it's saying what, 8950?
8950. Let me double check this.
I mean, maybe that's what he bought it at.
Yeah, if that's his title that you have a picture of, that's what he bought it at.
Oh, yeah, good point. So my photo was so pointless. Oh god, that's pretty huge.
No, it says it.
Oh, you put the VIN numbers in the
Gets
computer.
written to the, yeah.
Oh, the files are in the computer. Zealander.
They're in the computer?
I think it's 6, yeah, for sure, because I know that microphone will pick me up. Yeah, Luke, if this is a 2016 959, it's probably, what'd you say, Brian, about 6 computers in here?
I thought it was 4.
Yeah, and that's common. A lot of people think there's 4, there's 6.
I'm over here talking shit. You realize he just threw 6 at you because it was fun, right?
I'm gonna go sit back in my
Wow.
chair. I was doing
He's,
so much better.
Pretty gullible too then, huh? Just whatever you say goes. It's pretty awesome. All right, so that's our problem.
All right, we gotta we
Side
gotta.
switch doesn't work.
So it's just a switch.
And
So what's
it may be the way it's wired. It may
in summary?
something like that. Or if worse comes to worse, we have to get a new side stand switch.
Boy.
kickstand switch sheet ready.
Oh, I can take my sad thumbnail now
To a big smiley face. Is that actually
Walking out for the first time, no big deal.
man, she's pretty.
She is pretty. Okay, we know the audio is only on that thing, so I'm gonna stand close. Can you see me? Am I in? Okay. Everything was good. It ended up being the kickstand switch. Kickstand switch was not communicating with the computer in the motorcycle, so the motorcycle constantly thought that the kickstand was down, and for safety reasons, cut it off every time. Isn't that right, Ludo?
That's right.
That's right. So, went over to parts, got a kickstand. It's just a switch.
Just a switch.
So are we gonna have to rewire stuff, or is it?
It's, 2 screws to remove the switch, and then a couple zip ties to unwire it, and then plug it in, and more zip ties back on, and 2 screws to put it back on, and we should be good.
Okay, so what that means is the next video you guys are gonna see, we'll install the kickstand switch, and then we can probably do shakedown, same video.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a totally naked shakedown. Not the motor. The motorcycle is gonna be a totally naked shakedown, which is
gonna be naked.
Which is that's terrifying to think about. So which means basically you ride the motorcycle after it's totally ready to go to make sure there's no problems. But we're gonna do that without fairings because we want to have a big fairings because fairings are okay. Outro crew, thank you to getting to the end of the video. This has been what episode are we on? 26?
26.
26. Holy goodness Lord. Okay, make sure to hit the like button if you're in the outro crew, and subscribe to watch a naked shakedown.
Yeah.
Outro crew, how worried were y'all, 0 to 10, that we were gonna have to rebuild this engine? Because your boy was at in 12. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What? You've started it now.
No, I'm good with that.